Welcome back. A new study released by the Dalhousie University team says more than 6 million Canadians are limiting the amount of meat they eat. So, if you are one of them, if you are looking at other sources of protein, our next guest is here to help. Registered dietitian Nishta Saxena.
Hello.
Nishta, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So,
great to be here.
Yeah, what is the biggest misconception you hear about consuming protein from plant-based sources?
I think the biggest thing is people think it's sort of not a good enough protein and that it won't help you build muscles.
Okay, because proteins are all different. That's the thing,
They
right?
are all different. And the thing about plant protein is some plant proteins don't contain all 9 of those essential amino acids that we really require for repair and recovery from our bodies. So I think the misconception is, well, if I'm eating this, I'm not really getting what I need. And that's not actually true.
Okay, well, let's start first with some beans.
Yes, we can start with some beans. There was actually a study talking a little bit about how broccoli has more protein than steak, and that's not actually true either. Yeah, we wouldn't think that's true, but part of the misconception is the fact that some of these proteins in vegetable foods, they contain a lot compared to steak. This has 28 grams of protein, lentils and beans, compared to a 3-ounce piece of steak, but it also has an excellent amount of fiber.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's fantastic for digestion, contains antioxidants, and you can eat these foods in a variety of ways.
Totally, yeah, bean soup, bean salad, you got hummus here.
Hummus, which is super classic food. People love it. You can eat it in many different formats. I think the misconception is that you would eat these foods alone, and when you're eating plant proteins, we usually eat them together with a variety of other foods, and that's how the protein, the amino acids, balance themselves out.
Okay, so let's talk about another type of protein. A snack food, great one, is nuts.
Yes. Nuts, very high in antioxidants. They all kind of have different properties, but they're an excellent source of protein as well. About a 1-cup portion, you can get anywhere from 20 to 24 grams of protein.
Okay.
And 1 cup could be an amount that someone could eat for sure at one sitting.
Okay.
Another fantastic plant protein are things like sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds. These are a rich source of vitamin E, rich source of zinc, and these are school safe, which is fantastic. So wanting to get protein into our kids' bodies, this is a great way to do it. Very flavorful. Pumpkin seed butter's got to be one of the best tasting things out there.
Oh yeah, I'm interested to try that. Sunflower butter, it looks like peanut butter, but it's like spits. It tastes like sunflowers right away, and it's a little weird. But you dive in, and it's good in smoothies too.
It is. It's fantastic.
Yeah. This is a little weird. This is the no. What is this?
This is wheat germ.
Wheat germ.
Yeah.
Wheat germ. But you've added it to something I love, guacamole.
Yes. So technically, most people would not eat a cup of wheat germ on its own, but we can definitely add it to foods that we like, and it's like protein boosting things. So, getting about 10 grams of protein in a tablespoon, you can add it to avocado toast. You could add it to cereal in the morning, porridge, and it's a very. If you were to eat a cup, it's about 24 grams of protein.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but even in small amounts, it's a nice way to add plant protein to other foods.
And what does something like this taste like?
It's kind of nutty. It's fantastic. It's nutty. It adds a bit of crunch. It's a great way to boost your food.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
This next one, buckwheat. We've recently switched over to buckwheat. We do an oat pancake on the weekend, oats and banana and egg and cinnamon. But we flipped over to buckwheat because I just like the idea of the nutrients in buckwheat a little bit more.
It's fantastic, and it's fantastic for people who are gluten-free or wheat-free because it's actually a fruit seed. It's not actually a grain.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's fantastically rich in protein, 24 grams in a cup. And this is a fantastic way to eat it. Sometimes buckwheat can be a little bit bitter. But
make it a brownie.
Make it into a brownie. Why not? Using whole grains in baking is a great way to get protein as well. So I don't know if you want to try it, but something like this gives you protein and a little bit of a sweet kick at the same time.
I'm going to save this for the end because I feel like once I start eting it, I'm going to be able to stop. And the last one I really want to talk about because
it's important.
I'm from Alberta, and you know I love me a good steak.
Yes.
So soy-based protein is the scariest for me in terms of plant-based proteins. It freaks me out a little bit. One, because I don't really know how to cook it, but two, because there's a lot of scary headlines that surround soy.
Yes.
And you're telling me I don't need to be afraid.
Well, when we're looking at the foods you see here, these are whole soy foods, in particular edamame beans.
Okay.
The beauty of this as a plant protein is it is the full amino acid profile. So it is a complete plant protein. It has all 9 amino acids, and cultures around the world have been consuming soy for thousands of years. The issue that you're talking about is the modern day kind of processed soy. If you're eating foods and that have soy in them and throughout them that are actually processed foods where soy's been extracted, that can be a bit of a problem because it's a highly processed food. Here we have whole soy foods. We have tofu here, which doesn't have to be boring anymore. There's different kinds of flavored tofu. There's a little chili pepper tofu, or foods like tempeh, where they add a little fungus to it so it's easier to absorb. These are things not to be afraid of. And in fact, eating whole soy foods can be very beneficial to human health over time. It's really the processed soy you want to stay away from.
Okay, so this is a great option for someone who is trying to build muscle too. You don't necessarily have to have that steak for it.
You absolutely do not need to have, you can have steak if you enjoy it. You don't have to remove that from your diet, but you can certainly get great muscle development, healing and repair and recovery from your body from eating plant protein.
Okay, so we have 6 amazing options for you. We have soy-based protein, we have buckwheat, we have wheat germ, we have nuts, we have seeds, and we have beans and lentils. So many different options to broaden your diet as we're heading into a brand new year.
Absolutely.
Nishta, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. It's great to be here.
Okay, I'm salivating over this brownie. So I'm gonna get rid of the segment. We're gonna throw it to commercial break because I'm gonna chow down. We'll be right back. You get a brownie too. Let's cheers.